So our emerging solution speaker for the next 5 minutes is Steve Johanns. Now, Steve Johanns is the CEO and founder of Veriown. He says that his passion is going around the world and electrifying remote rural areas. But can he do that in this room? Steve?
So this young girl is the daughter of a farmer in India. The picture you see here, the photograph, she's in her home with a kerosene candle in a rural remote village just outside of Bangalore. And when she was born, she was quite possibly the 7 billionth person on the planet, or someone very like her was. Possibly from Andhra Pradesh, Sierra Leone, Africa, or any of a host of rural remote villages anywhere in the world. So what are the odds that this young girl will grow up like her mother? Without access to electricity, to a bank account, without connectivity, and without access to wider commerce the rest of the world? What are the odds that her and millions like her will grow up essentially invisible to the rest of the world? For the next 5 minutes, I'm going to ask you to take a journey with me. I'm going to ask you to take the world and turn it upside down. That instead of looking at this young girl as the last outpost, the most unreachable part of innovation and opportunity, that we create her as the starting point of innovation and what the potential of that is to the rest of the world. Hello, my name is Steve Johanns. I'm the founder and CEO of Veriown. And I spent the last 15 years of my life traveling around the world to solve one of the most difficult problems we face: how to electrify the last 20% of the population in this world. And in doing that, help them harness their very own energy. And doing it in a way that we can build a new human global energy network. So our global energy network is the foundation and the fundamental basis for an operating economy. It is the currency by which we operate. If you change the energy infrastructure, you change the way everything operates and works. Our energy infrastructure today is based on the ideas of men from over a century ago: George Westinghouse, Nikola Tesla, and Thomas Edison. It's based on large centralized power systems using heavy carbon-emitting fuels, supported by male-dominated industries, and central governments and regulations. In 135 years, that approach has electrified less than 80% of the population. There's still 20% of the population or greater that does not have access to the electricity network today. Nearly 1.5 billion people. So what if we think differently about the extension of the existing electricity network with all of its drawbacks and don't encumber this new group of people that we're trying to reach out to? And what are that possibility? So our team set out to do just that at Veriown. We decided to focus on the most rural remote woman in the planet Earth, what we call the invisible woman. And we focused and we looked at the most simple, basic transaction. The transaction to turn one LED light bulb on, solar powered, without access to a grid, the internet, a phone, or knowledge. And when we challenged our team with that, what we realized is we had all of this innovation potential in the palm of our hands, that it existed today. That we had solar and batteries for clean tech, we had the Internet of Things available to us for connectivity, and we had all these great things now available to us in the world of fintech, things like blockchain and others, to help us create a micro-transactive network that could touch and reach anywhere and allow anyone, anywhere to transact. And so we took that idea and they focused on making the simplest transaction compete with the existing way that they procure and transact for kerosene. And our engineers came up with a very innovative way to use smart plastic cards, read-write, that you can put in the hand of the rural villager And she can literally hold in that palm of her hand the energy, value, the data, and transact it on a platform we call Wattcoin. But they did more than that when they unlocked this opportunity, this potential for fintech. What we began to realize is that we'd opened up a whole new world of innovation that this invisible woman had opened our eyes to. That she was really showing us the opportunity to create the Internet of Things and the potential for transactions and the implications it had on the larger global markets. Not only did she allow our investors to realize a way to create a very sustainable, highly deployable, scalable approach to get electricity to anywhere in the world, but the way in which we were going to do it had implications for the rest of the global population. These invisible women we began to realize these invisible women were going to hold essentially very important data and information in their palm of their hands. And so doing so, we're going to become visible. And not because we were turning lights on. Over 15 years ago, I had this vision, this passion, that, what could happen if we could ever get the electricity to work like the energy internet. That if people around the world could work together, sharing, using, saving, investing in one another, peer-to-peer, in the areas of clean energy and help turn the lights on. And it was these invisible women that created that reality for us, our engineers, that took 15 years to get to this point today. So let me sum it up for you. There's a book of poems, nonsensical poems called by Ogden Nash, the American poet, called "You Can't Get There From Here." And that has never been more true than today. What we have learned and what we have focused on is to not think big and think scale, but think small and think velocity. The opportunity and the innovation and the power in the hands of these invisible women creates extraordinary potential. So I hope everyone here today can take something away from this discussion and the power of the invisible woman, the radical change and the implications it can have on your projects, on your opinions, and on your policies. I want to thank you, and God bless.